Good morning.
Good morning. Roka, good morning. Yes, good girl.
And today we're off to...
We're going to drive up to Downieville.
See you then.
See you up there. What do you do when you want to get outside but your home is overrun with people? When the talking heads say there's no such thing as over-tourism at the lake? Well, you pack your car, pick up a friend, and take a short drive north in search of a small mountain town loaded with history and memories. This is how we found ourselves in Downieville, California. As soon as we made it past the I-80 interchange, traffic became almost non-existent for us. Since it was President's Day, we expected some traffic, but were pleasantly surprised for clear roads and not too many other cars. This is always a nice drive up Highway 89, and we made great time to Sierraville. Sierraville is a quiet little ranching town that has only one decision to make if you're driving through, and that's left or right. We made the climb out of the valley and started up Highway 49 for Yuba Pass. Alright, so Bassett's coming up in a quarter mile. I'd hoped to take Ashley and Katie to Bassett Station at the bottom of Gold Lakes Highway for some lunch, but they were closed.
Alright. Wow, what do you mean it's closed? Bassett's closed? No!
We drove a little further down the road and stopped at a little pullout that has a year-round waterfall called Big Springs Waterfall. It was a road stop that had a water fountain that tapped into the spring water built by a prominent local man named Pete Lavazzola while he was a state highway foreman. He built this little road stop and water fountain in his spare time for the public who made the journey into the river canyon to visit the historic mining towns that line the river walls. Right above this beautiful waterfall is a lush garden area called Big Springs Gardens that is open late spring and all summer. We obviously couldn't get there today due to snow, but having been there before, we can definitely tell you that it is a must-see if you are driving down Highway 49 past Bassett's in the summertime.
Don't continue on with the story.
Well, I can start the story at the beginning. Cruising down the highway, the snows started to thin and lots of memories started to come on back. This little canyon used to have so many things to do and see. On the way into Sierra City, there's a really cool historical mine site that isn't open in the winter called the Kentucky Mine. Obviously, not a winter activity, but worth the stop in the summer. It showcases much of what the area was like during the mining days. We had also intended to stop in Sierra City, but unfortunately there wasn't anything open to see. Shops were boarded up, and there were a few too many for sale signs around. It'd be really great if more people would come back to these areas and bring tourism back up, so these shops could come back to life. Being very close to lunchtime, we made a beeline for Downieville. Having just left the crowds in Tahoe, we fully expected President's Day traffic in town. Boy, were we wrong.
That's not open.
Of all the time, really? It's President's Day. You'd think people would be up here right now. Pizzeria I used to work at.
We headed for the center of town, which is pretty much the Two Rivers Pizzeria, and found only a handful of cars and some bikers. Well, went in, do as, right? So we got out of the FJ, put Roker in her harness, and went in for some lunch. For the next half hour or so, we laughed and chatted, and I shared some short anecdotes of memories here. Everybody would come down here and just start their float and go bump sharp, never home down that way. Our food arrived pretty quickly, so we lapsed into the silence that accompanies a good meal. As we wrapped up lunch and jumped back in the FJ, we decided to head to the east end of town for a small place called Polly Creek. Polly Creek is one of my favorite places in Downieville. The water is beautiful, it's easy to get to, and it takes no time at all to see why it is so much fun to hang out here.
Alright, where we at?
We're at Polly Creek Falls. And right behind me, right there, is actually a little mini natural water slide that during the summer you can go down. Right now it's all snow melt, so it's too cold to go in, otherwise we'd be doing it. And then right over here we've got Polly Creek Plunge. It's a huge deep pool with 15-foot waterfall and places you can jump off of.
Polly Creek is named for Benjamin Polly, who opened a sawmill on the banks of the creek in 1858. At this time, Downieville was home to thousands of people and was a major mining town. So the Polly family set down roots and supported the town's growth by supplying timber to every industry that came through the area. We spent some time hanging out on the rocks surrounding the falls, taking pictures of everything. And even attempting to get some pictures with a rope. And just enjoyed the warm weather and the sound of the waterfall. After all that, we hiked up and around to a small path leading to the base of the falls to get a few more pictures. It was here where I remembered just how easy it is to slip on leaves and mud. Whoops.
What'd you do?
I slipped down the hillside.
How'd you do that?
I was taking the dog down a path that was covered in dirt and leaves and got pulled one way, I went the other. We're hoping the shots were worth it. Well, that little slip and fall didn't stop us from getting some more pictures though, and enjoying the rest of our afternoon in Downieville. We loaded ourselves back in the car and got ready for the ride home. We had such an amazing day exploring and relaxing by the river. We really should come back and actually do a multi-day trip here because there's so much to see and learn about. We highly recommend doing a day trip here if you have the time, because places like this are really hard to find nowadays. If you fish, hike, camp, mountain bike, or just really enjoy being in the outdoors, Downieville has something for you for sure. We hope you enjoyed coming along for our day trip, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, y'all. Cheers.
Want to show all this beautiful landscape. And I'm just spinning the camera around. So this is going to be terrible shooting later.